Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Verdant Life Live. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to make a bog. So I've got this container right here, has drainage holes at the bottom. I've got some mesh. I also have some lava rock that I already pre-washed. And of course, some sphagnum moss that's also been pre-hydrated for the sake of this little repotting project. Hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And before we begin, we're actually gonna go, you and I, into the greenhouse. We're gonna pick out a couple of plants and we're gonna begin, okay? So let's go check out what is in the greenhouse, fam. Let's go. Okay, so if you guys ever come over and visit, you guys can come into the greenhouse. This is where we have our carnivorous plants. Now for this specific project, I want to focus on, I think, Sarracenias, because they get really tall and I'm all about that. So I'm gonna pick some little plants that need a good home. I'm gonna pick this one. I'll pick another bug bat, might as well. And let's pick a couple of the Venosas. And remember, we do have bundles, you guys, so you guys can bundle up. I'm gonna pick a party of 5 for now, and we're gonna see how that works. Okie dokie. I got my 5 plants. Let's go. Oh, and by the way, those are all our pitcher plants that are up in the sky. Look pretty cool, huh? Thank you so much for joining us today, by the way. And we're gonna begin. So let's do this. Okay. So I've got my little plants. Hi guys. All right, I have my plants. And by the way, I'm using this little pretty pink repotting mat. Always very helpful. Keeps all the messes in one place. I recommend one. And I love using the repotting mat because personally, I don't like to repot plants outside because I live in Florida and it's very hot. So I want to first use my planter on the mesh and I'm going to trace with my permanent marker. I'm gonna make a tracing of the circle because I'm gonna put some mesh at the bottom. And I'm basically gonna create like a little lasagna recipe, as I like to say. We're gonna work in layers. So I'm gonna take my mesh. Okay. And this mesh, I did purchase it on Amazon. I purchased a little more than I need, but I'd rather have more than not have enough. So that's just me personally. And currently we are running a sale. You get a Sansevieria plant with your order of $55 or more. So right now I'm just tracing the circle and I want this to fit inside of my bog. And I do recommend the party of 5 for any of your bog projects, or you guys can get, however many plants you feel like you need. But for the assignment today, we're gonna be starting off with 5. And in the background, I got some very soothing and relaxing instrumental sounds. I like putting instrumental music for the plants because I've read that they actually grow prettier because of that. All right, so I got a decent circle going on around here. All right, circle done. Don't forget to put the cap on your permanent marker. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this, man. And yes, this is metal mesh. I probably don't have the best scissors for this. Scissors are not the best. I'm gonna see if I can use some other scissors. Let's see if this works. Let's see if those work. So mesh is a little difficult to cut. I'm learning this right now. Okay, this is cutting a little better. That's so funny. So far, the hardest part of this project is cutting the metal. But we're gonna figure it out together, guys, so don't worry. And I might have to buy new scissors after this. You know what, I'm wondering if a box cutter might work, or I'm gonna try these other scissors. Man, this is challenging, you guys. I thought this was gonna be so easy, and it's not. These scissors are not working properly. I'm gonna use these. So thank God Lynn is here, because Lynn just reminded me that we have heavy duty scissors. If it wasn't for her, I don't know what I would do right now. So thank you, Lynn. Got to always show some appreciation for my crew behind the scenes. Now these are heavy duty. Come on, heavy duty. Ah, something's working. That's so much better. So be sure to use heavy duty scissors if you're gonna do this. All right. Yeah, don't use your child's little scissors for elementary school, because it's not gonna help. All right, we have this left over. We'll put this off to the side. All right, and I have my circle drawn on it. I'm going to cut this. Hopefully I can make this work. All right, so we're cutting along the circle. Oh yeah, that's definitely working now. Okay, thank you, Lynn. Lynn is definitely somebody who is a great addition to our Verdant Life family. She helps package and ship the plants. So if you at home are lucky enough to get a package that was shipped and packaged and prepared by Miss Lynn, you guys are in for a real treat, because unboxing her plants and packages is always beautiful, beautiful quality. So if you got a plant and Miss Lynn packed it, let us know how it went. And remember to share your unboxing experiences with us. We always love hearing about how that went. Okay, we're getting somewhere, guys. Okay. I'm so glad you gave me these scissors. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put those questions into the comments. And we are the largest provider of carnivorous plants here in sunny South Florida. I've done it. Perfect. All right. Now I want to say I think this was the hardest part of the entire project today. So as long as you have heavy duty scissors, not your child's scissors, because that's not going to work, especially if it's metal mesh. Now they do sell mesh that is made out of plastic, which is also a good option for you if you don't have the heavy duty and you're kind of looking to see what's the best option for you. So you could either do plastic mesh, that would be a great solution, and you could cut the plastic a little easier, okay? All right, so this is my planter. Hello. Everything's clean, everything's been disinfected prior. Now I'm gonna place this inside. Okay, very good. And the reason why I wanna do that is because I don't want any of the lava rock or any of the matter to come out of the bottom. I want everything to be nice and securely in there. Next, I'm going to now place my lava rock into my planter. And this is a metal planter. It's super effective, and I really like the color. If you're going to do a bog, my only suggestion is that you don't use a medium of planter that is made out of clay or terracotta. That would be the advice that I give to you. Terracotta planters, if you don't know, those are more for plants like succulents, for example. That does very well. Lynn, you know what? I think I might need some more lava rock. So I have the lava rock at this point right about here. I want to add a little bit more. Now the reason why I'm adding the lava rock, it actually helps to maintain a lot of that moisture for the carnivorous plants. Thank you so much. And another great thing to know is that when you have the lava rock, and we're going to put moss on the very top layer, but the lava rock, again, it holds the moisture, but the roots of the carnivorous plant, what actually happens is that it reaches deep, deep, deep to access that water. So actually the carnivorous plants, they work harder and they're stronger and they're taller. And this was something that I ended up learning, and I was super surprised that I could get all these benefits from lava rocks. And I did wash my lava rocks very thoroughly. You want to make sure that you do wash any rocks that you have, especially if you're dealing with carnivorous plants, because let me tell you guys, the carnivorous plants are very gentle, they're very sensitive, especially when they're in a 2-inch nursery planter. They're babies. They're super duper sensitive. All right. Perfect. Okie dokie. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so now this is filled until about here with my lava rock. Everything's looking really great. Now here in my little container, I have the sphagnum moss that I need. Now at home, if you want, you can use another alternative to sphagnum moss, which could be peat moss. Kind of looks like soil, but it's not. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and now add our sphagnum moss in here. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and do that together. And this is already pre-hydrated sphagnum moss. We hydrated it with distilled water only. Only with distilled water did we do that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add more. Very important, you keep your planter nice and hydrated once you finish your project, of course. After your project is done, make sure you give them a good watering. All right, and we want to make sure this is nice and separated and loose. That way the plants can really, you know, grow nicely. And if you see the moss that it's like very attached, just gently separate it if you can. Get those big pieces, get everything to be nice and loose. We're gonna add another bit more. And we also do sell bricks of sphagnum moss. You can check that out. And the brick of sphagnum moss, it actually does expand about 6 to 8 times the size of the brick. So you getting that brick of moss, once you hydrate it with water, it's going to really get big. So you only need 1 brick typically, unless you got several other projects happening. Okay, so here we are. All right, I think I'm gonna add a little more just in case. I could always take away if needed. Okay. Okay, remove anything that you feel you wanna get rid of. Yeah, this is all nice and hydrated. Okay, great. We've got the planter with the lava rock. We also have the layer of the sphagnum moss. Next, we're gonna start working on our bog. Now, I like to think of the future of my plant arrangement, and I know that these plants are gonna get very big over time. This one particularly, this is the Cape Drosera Sundew. It is a sticky trap, and this I'm gonna put in the center of my arrangement. And I wanna do that because I know it's gonna grow and it's even gonna flower, and I want that to be one of the main attractions for the arrangement that I'm creating. So very gently, you at home, you just squeeze, rotate your little planter. This should come out very easily. You can repurpose those little nursery pots. Okay, we're gonna gently put her in here. Make sure that her tendrils are not covered by any of the moss. Okay, very good. You want to make sure that she's nice and secure. Very good. There we go. Okay, so we got the first one here. Amazing. Okay, next we're going to incorporate the Venosa, the Purpurea. This is a Sarracenia. This also will flower eventually for us. Our pollinators love that very, very much. And by the way, pollinators will not be in harm's way when they do pollinate these flowers because the flowers are elevated. They're above the traps. Okay. Hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for tuning in to the Verdant Life Live. Oh look, this is perfect. So this plant definitely needed to be repotted because those roots were needing some space. So we picked really great plants, by the way. So this I'm gonna put here off in the corner. And remember, you can use peat moss, but for this example, I'm using sphagnum moss, by the way. Hey guys, welcome. We're making a carnivorous bog. If you just tuned in, you haven't missed much. I did incorporate lava rock at the bottom layer. I put lava rock up until about here. I did that because it allows the bog to remain more hydrated. And it's also great for the future roots that are going to be coming in for my plant because the plant is actually going to reach deeper to access that water, and it's going to result in the plant being stronger and healthier. It's kind of like when you go to boot camp, you look good after a few weeks of going to boot camp. You know, you're working harder and you get buff. Similar concept. So we're going to put the carnivorous plants in a little bit of a boot camp situation, but in a good way. Look, we have roots growing out here. So again, this is a great plant that we picked out. Now, so I got the Venosa here, and the other like one is gonna be here. Okay. Now, some of you at home might wonder what is in the middle of the plant. I'm going to show you what it is. So here, I'm going to remove the moss so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But here, this is a little plug. That's actually peat moss, by the way. It's very good for the plant. And the roots will grow out of there. But basically, peat moss is sphagnum moss, but just blended up in a blender very finely. So that's what that is, in case you might be wondering at home. Like, what is that? I thought soil was bad for plants. The soil is very bad for carnivorous plants. I do not recommend that you use soil. Your plant will die and then you'll be sad, and we don't want that. We don't want that. Okay. And if you see any wilted traps, just remove them very gently. Remember, you want to be very caring and careful with your baby carnivorous plants because they are babies. You just left the nursery, kind of like a newborn baby. You want to be really gentle and extra careful with your baby. And in this case, we almost had a slip and fall just now. Okay, that's better. Almost dropped you guys. Some of you have actually seen me do a live and that the camera has actually fallen. This has happened to me a few times. You never know what's gonna happen when you're live. You just gotta roll with the punches. So I appreciate everybody's graciousness and kindness. Thank you all for your participation. Remember, put any questions that you got for me in the comments. If you want, you can also type in what state or country you might be tuning in from. The other day we had somebody tuning in from Brazil. They were a little bit sad because I told them we couldn't ship plants to Brazil yet. So I said that might be something we do in the future, but I thought it was so cool that someone from Brazil was actually tuned in real time, which was cool. And they did learn a lot as well. So it was very nice. Okay, next I'm going with my Sarracenia bug bat. This is my favorite carnivorous plant, for the record, by the way. Okay, we have somebody tuning in from Georgia. Thank you so much. Georgia's not that far from us. And remember, we do ship these beautiful carnivorous plants nationwide, along with several other plants that we do have here. Yes, we are a brick and mortar. You can come in, you can shop if you're local or if you're visiting the area. We'll be happy to show you our nursery and our greenhouse. We've got indoor, outdoor, we've got pet-friendly plants. We have low light plants, full light plants. We got it all, you guys. We got good stuff here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. This is looking good, you guys. What do you guys think so far? This is looking kind of amazing. And this is my stand. And I'm gonna actually place this outside at the entrance. And this is my new baby. I'm gonna make sure that I pamper and spoil this plant so much. And we're actually doing a few changes in the front of the house. So we currently have cacti outside, but it's been outside like for the last 2 years, and you know, we want to do like a little spring cleaning, a little refresh, so we're gonna go ahead and put a bog outside. And carnivorous plants, they love the sun, you guys. They love the sun so very much, and they do really, really well in 6 hours, up to 8 hours of bright sunlight. I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. I'm gonna stand back a little bit so y'all could see how pretty that looks. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? Look how stunning that is. So this is definitely what I would call a statement piece. And I did this all with the Party of 5 option. Okay, Party of 5, that's one of our bundles that we do have, by the way. And I'm waving to all of you amazing people right now during the live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, that looks pretty darn good. Woo! It looks so good, you guys. Oh my God, I love it. Now, finally, I'm gonna get a paper towel. I just wanna make sure that I clean this. I don't want any funkiness to be anywhere. I want it to be pretty and clean, because again, this is something that we put in the front of the house. So it's gotta be one of the prettier things, right? And I'm gonna water this each and every day with distilled water. And remember that I did put the lava rock, so the lava rock is gonna preserve and hold a lot of that moisture for our carnivorous plants. Amazing. Okay, that looks really good, you guys. So that was our first repotting project right here. This is something that's so beautiful. And if you at home have a great idea for either a little bog like this or your own little terrarium, I encourage you guys to check out our different bundles. We've got the Trapstar Duo, which features 2 carnivorous plants. And remember, when you bundle up, you save. We have the Trio of Terror. Remember, you get to mix, match, and pick the plants that you like, and you'll see the different options. And we have some really fun names with some little plant pun. I hope you guys like that. And we also do have the Carnivorous Quad Bundle. You get 4, or the Party of 5. Now, I also do currently have another bundle, but it is one of those bundles that it includes the honeycomb arrangement, and it comes with 7 plants. That one's actually called the Bite Club Carnivorous Bundle, okay? And I think I only have like 14 of those honeycombs left, so that's gonna sell out rather quickly. But look online, I think you guys will really love that. But I'm gonna put my beautiful arrangement off to the side. Look how gorgeous, you guys. And again, I've got my Paparia venosas, I've got my bug bats, and I've got a sticky trap, which is the Cape Drosera Sundew, which will flower eventually. Hopefully soon. Okay guys, so our next project that we have here, it is this situation that's kind of happening. So we had someone bring this in. This is a little repotting situation. They went away for a while, and this rabbit foot fern somehow grew into their other plant, which was carnivorous. And we're gonna try to make sense out of this. We're gonna try to fix it, see what we can do. Maybe you at home, you have a plant that kind of has a mind of its own. Bring your plants to Verdant Life if you're local, and we can help you repot and make sense of all this chaos. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove my rabbit foot from the 4-inch planter very carefully. And guys, by the way, I love my repotting mat because all my mess is in this mat. It's so worth it. Do the investment. So very carefully, I'm gonna break up the soil. I'm gonna try my hardest not to compromise or harm any of the roots here. So just be really gentle. And when you do a repot for your plant, you guys, you're gonna really see your plant bounce back entirely. Okay, we're just breaking up the soil here. And I am using gloves, by the way. I like using gloves, just in case. Wow, this is really like compressed. I see that the moss was like so compressed, like that the plant had absolutely no space to thrive. And that's what happens to us in real life too, you guys. When we don't have the room that we need to grow, our growth is stagnant. So I encourage you guys at home to take care of your mental wellness and your state of being. This is so important for you guys. All right, so I've freed this. Now we're gonna be extremely careful here. This is some moss. Now what ended up happening to this plant is that it wasn't repotted in a timely manner, and the roots just really overtook the planter, and it became one with this rabbit foot fern. So we're gonna see if we can save this. We're gonna save this, you guys. We're gonna make it okay again. Okay. Yeah, but you see how like compressed and tight everything is? That tells me that the roots don't have enough oxygen, and it's very important that they have space, the roots, so they can grow. So I'm just loosening all of this stuff up very carefully, and there's some really healthy moss around the edges of the rabbit foot fern. Oh, and something I learned today was underneath one of the leaves I thought, where is it? I'm gonna show you guys. Where did it go? Oh, here. This, I'm gonna get closer. So these little specks that you see at the bottom of the fern, these are not pests. These are actually the fronds that are used for reproduction in the plant, which was a cool thing because I learned that this morning. Yeah, because when I was inspecting the plant, I was like, what the heck is that? Oh no, not a pest. Because for me, like one of the worst things, especially if you're a plant person, is the aphids, the mealybugs, anything that is attacking your plant, any pesky things like that. We also do have a remedy, by the way, which is the Plant Shield and Shine. Totally recommend that for you at home. All right. What a big difference, you guys. We're almost where we need to be. It's gonna be all right. Man, this really needed our love and attention urgently. This was serious. Like the roots just are so tangled. It's going to be much better. And I see that the roots were actually starting to grow upwards. That's another sign that it's time to repot. All right. Okay, we're making sense of all of this now. Okay, very good. I'm excited. All right, I'm gonna snip this. That's dead. And remember, it's okay to cut and trim your plants. Remove anything that's dead. Number one, very important. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and place it in a 4-inch planter. Definitely gonna have a lot more room now. Thank goodness. I'm gonna break this up a little bit better. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to throw away this soil because I feel like I can't use it again. It doesn't feel fresh. And that's something you have to discern at home. But if you see how like, it's like this and it's just, we need some brand new soil. So let's go get some soil. I'm gonna take you guys to our repotting station. Our repotting station, this is such a cool area and space here in the nursery. And I feel like we have everything very nicely organized. If you guys look here, you guys can see our area where we have all of our organic in-house made soil. This has coconut bark, this has perlite, this has a lot of good things for your plant. And we do sell the soil also online if that's something that you're interested in. So I've got my little 4-inch planter. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of soil there at the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna go grab our plant. Okay, I got the plant. Perfect. I'm gonna place this in here. I'm gonna put a little more soil. Oh, so much better, you guys. It's just a big old mess. Okay. Gotta make sure I press firmly to secure everything. And every time after you do a repot, it is advised that you give your plant a good watering. Very important. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and trim this leaf right here because it's just not, I don't like it. It's dead. So I'm gonna cut it. Goodbye. Get rid of that. That takes away a lot of energy from your plant. I'm gonna cut this one too. It's already starting to wilt and turn yellow, so I don't want it to take any more energy from my plant. This one's okay, I could leave it on, and this is the one that has those fronds that will help the plant to do some reproducing. Now this leaf, I'm just torn because a part of me wants to keep the leaf, but for the health of the plant, I think I'm gonna have to just eliminate her. Because look, she's all crinkly and she's injured and she just had a hard life. She's had a hard life, so we gotta put her to rest. Okay, much better. Okay, now I'm gonna use my little magic brush and I'm gonna clean this. We like to clean our planters over here, make sure everything looks good. But look how much better that is. And there you have it. We just saved this rabbit foot fern. And we'll check back in about a month or so to see how it's doing. But I think it's gonna thrive now. And these love humidity, so I always keep them in the greenhouse. I'm gonna give it a good watering while I'm here with you guys live. Definitely wanna saturate the roots. She needs a good drink. I'm gonna mist her leaves as well. All right, there she is. She looks so good, right? Isn't that beautiful? What do you guys think? You like it? Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to our live today. I had so much fun doing our carnivorous bog with you and also doing a rescue repot because we really had a mess on our hands, didn't we? And remember, if you are local here in the Coral Springs area or if you're in Broward County and you need help with a repotting project, bring those plants to Verdant Life. We would love to help you guys figure that out. And we have lots of other beautiful plants here to pick and choose from. We're the largest provider in Broward County for carnivorous plants and also Lucky Bamboo. If you don't know, now you know. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and share. And I will see you guys in the next live. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget that next Sunday is Palm Sunday. So if you guys need palm trees, get your palm trees ordered so that you get them right in time for Palm Sunday. I got 4 different types of palms in stock. Be sure to check those out. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, fantastic day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.